Good Wednesday morning to you all. We got another Watchmen update. Got some news items that you need to be aware of. We got a dangerous heat wave across the central and eastern seaboard. The heat wave is affecting millions, and it's even causing blackouts in some areas. We'll talk about where those blackouts are and how severe. It's quite a few people, actually. Hunter Biden is back in the news. No, he hasn't created a new art piece, but he is in the news. We got violations of the Israel-Iran ceasefire we need to talk about. U.S. Department of Justice is now looking for 1,000 Iranian sleeper agents in the U.S. That and a whole lot more. Let's get into it. Welcome to the Poplar Report. I'm Steve Poplar. I'm an accountant by trade, and these are your updates that you guys are sending in from all over. If you have something to share, something that you're seeing at your workplace, or something that you're seeing at the store, shortages, please let us know by using the word update somewhere in your comment. You guys are what makes this community what it is. We also want to thank our sponsor, Genesis Gold Group. They help people with retirement accounts to get out of stocks and bonds and into something safer, gold, silver, or platinum. If you want physical metals in your IRA, your 401k, if you want to get out of the stock market and it's roller coaster, this is a good time to do that. Jonathan and his team can walk you through it and explain everything. There'll be a link at the end of the video for you to find out more. President Trump says both Iran and Israel have violated the ceasefire. But it seems like the ceasefire is still there, at least slowing things down. Both Israel says Iran fired some missiles at them, and both sides have traded drone attacks through the night. Israel launched an airstrike against a radar site inside Iran, but both sides say that they're committed to whatever the ceasefire is, even though they're still shooting at each other. But by and large, it seems to be holding, and they seem to be retaliating against each other for violations. French President Macron, yeah, I know, we haven't talked to him for a while. He fears an increased risk now of secret uranium enrichment in Iran. Basically, a lot of the enriched uranium was not damaged, was not destroyed. Some of it was buried, but can be dug out, and also a bunch of it was relocated. But up till now, those sites have been monitored by the International Atomic Energy Agency, or UN, basically. But now it seems like they don't want the IAEA to oversee it anymore, which is going to cause some other problems. Hunter Biden has been sued for over $50,000 in unpaid legal bills. Can't imagine that. Including his Delaware boomstick case. He just stiffed the lawyer. Them and other people, $50,000. If you do that, wouldn't you go to jail? It's kind of like a felony, isn't it? If I did that, it'd be a felony. But apparently, if you got the right last name, you're okay. If you're in the in club, you're okay. I don't know. Welcome to the two-tiered justice system of the United States. President Trump says that China can now continue buying oil from Iran. And because of that, as well as the ceasefire, oil prices have continued to drop back towards where they were before the crisis. Volatility on U.S. stock market has plummeted back to before the shooting war between Israel and Iran. And flights have resumed to Israel. Iran has also reopened its airspace. So things seem to be normalizing over there, and the people in the know seem to be acting like it's been normalized. Tankers are going through the Strait of Hormuz, so that also shows that the people with the most to lose believe that the situation has been handled, or that it's not going to escalate, at least not soon. I know some people are very skeptical of this truce holding, but it does seem to be that both sides seem to want it. Israel wanted 14 days and they got 12 days, but Netanyahu said basically that they hit what they needed to hit. So I guess maybe those extra 2 days were kind of more contingency days. Iran is tired of getting punched in the face, so and they want to go build their nuke over in the corner over there where we can't see them. So both sides seem to have vested interest in saving face, but also having a ceasefire. Pam Bondi says that the Department of Justice is on high alert over Iranian sleeper agent cells, saying over 1,000 have entered our country. That's Pam Bondi's quote there. Over 1,000 have entered our country. We speculated that. We started throwing some numbers out, but that's the Department of Justice giving us numbers now. And it is very concerning. Moving on to a more immediate threat here. Deborah says Northeast Ohio counties had a blackout yesterday. Summit and Cuyahoga County, I don't know how to pronounce that, affected the most. It's being attributed to heat, though I looked it up online, and it's also being attributed to a fire at a power substation in Cleveland. Now, they weren't the only ones without power last night. New York City asked residents there to conserve power as blackouts across the New York City, or tri-state area as they call it, were reported. Outages also continued into yesterday evening in areas like Michigan. 30,000 people without power as they went to sleep last night. New Jersey, 21,000 without power as they went to sleep. New York, 20,000 without power. Pennsylvania, 19,000. Massachusetts, 15,000. So quite a few people suffering through this heat without power. This could be you, friends. We had some power substations kind of blow up. Those are probably just, when things get hot and there's a lot of load, sometimes these things blow up. That happens in New York City and has happened in New York City for decades and decades. But, we can't rule out sabotage or anything like that, but it doesn't seem to be widespread enough for that. So I'm going to keep thinking it's just natural. But what happens if you lose power during the day and it is hot, hot, hot out there? What are you going to do? Are you going to go sit in your car, run the AC? Are you going to drive to some place that has AC with your family? What's your plan to cool off, friends? Please make sure that you are prepared for the heat. A lot of us up in the north are not nearly as prepared as you guys down in the south. So if you're up in the northern states or Midwest, please be prepared for the heat. And make sure that everyone you know, as well as your neighbors, are taken care of. Boo says, drove 85 miles yesterday for my cancer treatment. Drove through 5 smaller towns on the way to the interstate. Checked all the gas station prices. On the way back, about 3 hours later, they had all gone up 10 cents. One of our local stations had gone up 20 cents in 2 days. Our local pharmacy store is in the process of closing. Rite Aids across the country are closing. So I don't know if that's a Rite Aid. They didn't specify, but I have heard reports from you guys. I've even seen signs around here of Rite Aids closing. So this pharmacy store, so they are low in stock. It's crazy. This is rural central Maine where they're seeing that back. Friends, if you can hang on, gas prices should come back down. Maybe not to where they were, but they're going to come back a lot. So if you look at the gas prices and you're like, that's a lot, hang on. As long as nothing blows up in the Middle East for the next little bit, you will see those gas prices come down because the oil prices have crashed. They've cratered. They're not down to pre-conflict levels, but they're closing in on it. Give it a couple more days, oil prices will be down, and then that will trickle down to your gas stations over the next week. Just Cemetery says, our Walmart had their refrigeration system break down last week. Hearing that from a lot of you guys out there. Refrigeration systems seem to be breaking down all over the place. And we've heard reports that the reason for this before was that there just aren't enough refrigeration techs or HVAC techs out there. There's a shortage. And so they're delaying regular maintenance, and they're delaying replacing systems because they just can't get the workers to do the jobs. So we're having these breakdowns, and they're having to toss tons and tons of food. We have a heat index over 100 this week. Another reason to buy it when you see it. Speaking of food, they had to dispose a lot of food. Sherlin says, if you are shopping for a big family and buy the bags of little cuties tangerines, be careful. Shrinkflation this month was extreme. Instead of being between 20 and 30 pieces of fruit per pre-bagged, there are only 10 pieces of fruit, but the same high price. This is in Arkansas. Shadow Gaming says, my company encouraged me to apply for unemployment due to a lack of work for the summer. So I did. Yesterday, on the 20th, I got a piece of mail from the unemployment office saying in order to get unemployment, I had to return this piece of mail by June 11th. Got it on June 20th, have to return it by June 11th. Fortunately, I talked to unemployment a few days ago and was able to receive some of the benefits, but it's still ridiculous. Yeah. Our most important stuff is traveling to us through the mail, right? And yet, the mail has become extremely unreliable. How does that work? How does that work? Right now, it seems like you're getting like a, 7, 8 out of 10 chance that you actually get your mail. A lot of stuff's getting lost. And some of the most important documents, your tax documents, other things, please be checking to make sure you're not missing stuff, right? Solo Tap says, after the big storm last night in central Minnesota, I had gone to check on my 74-year-old neighbor. A good thing to do, please. To see how she is doing. She had downed trees and the power was out. I got the generator running and made sure she had enough fuel and water till I got back from work. She asked me to drag out a 5-gallon bucket in a cubby. I asked what it was, what it was for after opening it. She said it was milk. It is actually a calf milk replacer. Apparently she doesn't buy milk from the store and never has. Milk replacer can be bought at any of the feed outlets, Tractor Supply, Fleet Farm, feed mills, or feed stalls, from 5-pound to 50-pound bags. So that's something else to look into. Do your own research and see if that's a good fit for you. But it is definitely a cheap prepping item. Jones says, today I went to Publix to buy Kerrygold butter, as that is oddly the cheapest butter there. Not only is it the most expensive food market in our town, but oddly it was packed with customers, and their carts were full. Then I went to Ingles, and their olive oils were full and not fronted, except for the organic 100% first cold-pressed single origin. There was not even one bottle of their olive oil. Know why? That's because of the 2 words, single origin. We have learned the so-called 100% olive oils they've been adding cheaper canola oils and other inferior oils, seed oils that cause inflammation. Americans who can afford to buy the best money can buy are no longer being duped by these olive oil manufacturers. It's time the American people wake up to the fact our food is not anywhere as good as our European counterparts. It's absolutely the truth. When I travel abroad, I feel different. It's amazing. It's night and day. I feel different. I come back to the United States and just the foods just make me feel like I'm asleep or like I'm having and it's like we have to make up for it with caffeine. When I'm traveling abroad, I don't really need that. The food just seems so much cleaner. Sherry says, Sunday, my PNC Bank app wouldn't work on Monday. I went to the ATM, and after work, I just to get a balance, it said that they could not process my request. So the app didn't work, the ATM did not work. I tried the app again this morning and still said network error. So issues with PNC, that's a pretty big bank out there. Started and founded here in Pittsburgh. So Vicky says, a banana problem in my south central North Carolina area. Bought 5 beautiful, big beautiful right now, yellow-green bananas. They look good. Wanted to make banana pudding, but the very hearts of the bananas where the seeds are was rotting. None of the fruits were usable. Pretty bananas can fool you. Don't judge a banana by its cover, right? Yeah, cut into them. When you get a bunch of bananas, open up one of them. See what they really are looking like on the inside. Paul says, Southwest Ohio, we had a little over 500 power outages in my area yesterday. Loads of internet trouble. About 20 of those power outages were due to upgrades to enhance the grid. I don't understand these electric companies. We're going to wait until the hottest days and hottest parts of the day to turn your power off for 4 to 6 hours. That just seems like poor scheduling to me. Yeah, but I mean, then again, to play devil's advocate, they still need to get this work done, right? And they don't have all that many workers that are really willing to work and able to do the jobs. Leslie says, no electricity since yesterday around 7 p.m. Some lessons to learn. I do have lanterns, a small solar generator, and a big one. Was able to locate the small one to charge my phone. Big one I need to get more familiar with how to work it. Lights just came back on at 2:30 a.m. Was looking around for my matches and lighter to light the gas stove. Did not immediately need to plug in the freezer, but was waiting for morning to hook it up. So I was mostly prepared. This was a test run. I will familiarize myself with how to hook up my large solar generator with panels, etc. next time so things will go more smoothly. Most of these solar generators, they're big batteries, and I need you to think about them like a bucket. You know, a bucket holds water. Well, your battery pack is like a bucket for electricity. So before the power goes out, you should have the battery packs charged up. Now, they're going to tell you to store them 50 to 60% empty or even less than that, because it will dramatically increase how many cycles you can get out of them. Now, what they mean is that you're more likely to get the 4,000 to 5,000 cycles out of the battery pack. But here's the thing. Are you really going to cycle that battery 5,000 times? Probably not. They say that if you store it, overcharge it, and keep it charged up fully or close to fully, most of the time, you're only going to get 2,000 to 3,000 cycles out of it. I don't know about you, friends, but even in the apocalypse, I probably only will be able to charge and discharge my battery packs about 2,000 to 3,000 times anyway. So for me, I don't want to have a power outage and go to my power banks and not have power in them. They're buckets to hold electricity. I charge them up. However, I will say this though. Do not have them plugged into the wall. Okay? Charge them up. The lithium iron phosphate batteries hold a charge really well. So charge them up, unplug them. Don't have anything plugged into them. Don't have them plugged in anything. Don't have any power coming into them. These things, when they're charging, they can catch fire. Unlikely, but when they catch fire, they're a big problem. So only charge them up when you're supervising them, and then have them stored in a place where they don't get hit by anything. Dramatic impact on these battery packs can cause a fire. So if you drop something really heavy on one of these battery packs, it could ignite. So don't do that, okay? Protect your house. Store them somewhere where they're not going to suffer too much temperature. And also make sure that they're not plugged into anything. And make sure nothing can fall on it. If something heavy can fall on it, it can cause a fire. All right, friends, those are my tips for the day. If you want to get some more information from Genesis Gold about what you can do with your retirement account, there's a link right there on the screen. A whole bunch of you guys have talked to them already. Some of you guys have moved forward with them, and those of you who have, I've only heard good things from you guys, so that's good stuff. If you want to check out another video from this channel, there's one right up there. I'll see you over there, or I'll see you guys later. Steve Poplar of the Poplar Report, out.